Sactown Sports.
We know we got the 49ers and the Arizona Cardinals coming up Sunday. You can hear that game right here, of course. We've got a special guest joining us, a senior Arizona Cardinal writer for the Arizona Republic, Bob McManaman. But, Drapes, before we get to Bob, you know what really impresses me about him? He, if I have this right, he used to be a ball boy for the Phoenix Suns.
Really?
Yes.
During which era, though?
Well, let's find out. Bob McManaman. Is that true, Bob? Are you a former Phoenix Suns ball boy?
Unofficial, yeah. Me and my buddy used to sneak in to the old Veterans Coliseum in Phoenix after school on game days for shoot-arounds. There was no security, so it was pretty easy to sneak in. They didn't pay us. We didn't get little uniforms or anything, but we were gym rats, and they appreciated it. So unofficially, yeah, true story.
Yeah. Is that like during the Paul Westphal era, or what are we talking about?
Before that, even. I mean, he was one of my favorite players, yeah, but it was after the NBA Finals in '76.
Oh, wow.
And they had some great players then. And
Gar Hurd and those guys, yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, the whole Phoenix area got swept up in that series with Boston. It was incredible. And, you know, as a young kid who loved basketball and all sports, it just kind of seemed natural to me to want to be around it. So, I'm not a Suns fan anymore because I'm a columnist, actually. But I will say that it was fun in my youth.
That's awesome. Bob McManaman, columnist for the Arizona Republic. So, Bob, if I understand your column correctly, stopping the run is job one for the Cardinals this Sunday. Is that true? And if so, why?
Yeah, because it's the only way they have any kind of a chance in hell to win. And I'm not saying they do have a chance, but if they do, that's one way to make sure you check some boxes, because that run game of the 49ers is almost impossible to stop. And even when you can do it, it doesn't guarantee you a win. But that's where you start.
Hey, Bob, let's stick with the defense. We saw what happened last week with Washington. You talk about the run defense. How's Arizona's pass defense been?
Well, they're pretty bad. Yeah, they're not good. It's a way too young of a group on the back end at cornerback. Anyway, the oldest guy in the room is, I don't know, 26, 27. Murphy Bunting, and he's the old young guy of the group. Everybody else is in their first or second year for the most part. And their best guy, their nickel back right now, Garrett Williams isn't going to play because of a groin injury. So it just got a lot worse.
Bob McManaman with us. So obviously Arizona defensively, they've struggled, but it looks like Kyler Murray is putting some things together. What's been the key to the early successes that he has had, Bob?
When he's able to hit downfield, you know, and he's been hit and miss there. When he's able to take off on unscheduled plays and do chunk plays, which he didn't at all last week. I think he only ran once for 3 yards, and that's got to change. Brock Purdy is running circles around him right now, and that's not what you want to see if you're Kyler Murray. So he's getting touchdowns to Marvin Harrison Jr. He's got 4 now touchdowns. So I mean that's good, but you know he had 1 catch for 4 yards on 3 targets in his first ever rookie game, and that was hugely disappointing. But he's gotten a lot better. But that will, synergy will develop, I think, here as we go along. Marvin is leading, or at least tied for the rookie reception TD mark right now. And if he gets 2 against you guys, he's going to be the first rookie to ever do that in the first 5 games of a season. So to have 6, I don't know if that's going to happen, but it would be something if it does.
Yeah. Hey, Bob, the offense came out like gangbusters, dropping 28 on Buffalo, dropping 41 on the Rams. Yeah. What's happened the last 2 games? Why has the offense been struggling?
They stink right now. It's been that's the problem.
Now, see, Bob, I got to tell you, a couple of days ago, we talked to a guy from NBC Sports Bay Area, and he was saying some disparaging things about the Cardinals, right? And then we thought, okay, and then so
and then Bob
you say it too.
Oh my God.
I guess it's pretty obvious to everybody who's really paying attention.
Yeah, well, if they're not paying attention, they don't know what's going on. But anybody who watches it knows that they stink right now on offense. And, you know, I will say this, and the back-to-back losses, that they've had a heartbreak and some self-inflicted wounds here. But the end of a first half against Detroit and against Washington, they had a touchdown taken away on an interception return against Detroit. And then the Lions go down and pull off this amazing hook and ladder touchdown play that's you're going to watch for the next 25 years to go ahead and lead. And then they come out of the second half and they burn another touchdown on the Cardinals. So they're kind of screwed. Same kind of thing happened last week. Cardinals had 2 chances to get points on 2 drives and didn't do anything. And of course, Washington comes down in the last, 1 second, or it seemed like a second or 2 in the last half a minute and gets a field goal field goal. And then comes out and scores on the third play of the second half and it's toast, So those flips of momentum, those swings of games, that deflates a team. And this team is deflated.
Dang, Bob, it's made Bob. You sound deflated. Like
just talking about it.
I don't care who wins or loses.
Right.
I get paid no matter what. They can't cut me.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Hey, Bob, you mentioned Marvin Harrison. One area where the Niners have had trouble with is guarding A1 receivers. Is Marvin Harrison, has he shown you the ability to be an A1 this early in his career? And is that something they might be able to take advantage of? Yeah,
I do. Look, it was the no-brainer of a pick at number 4 of the draft. Watching his tape in college, not seeing him in person, unfortunately, until he got here, but was hoping to meet him at the combine. I was there. He was there, but he didn't talk, sadly. But ever since he's been with this team, he's everything you would expect him to be. He's a huger, bigger, faster version of his dad. And I'll take that any day of the week. That guy is a champion, a legend. And this kid is humble. He's keeping it business day to day. He's what the Cardinals like to say, keeping our feet where they need to be, or something silly like that. I don't know. They had me believing it the first couple of weeks, but I'm not so sure now. I'm a big champion of this kid. I think he's going to be great. I think he could have a decent to big game against the Niners. We'll see, though.
Catching up with Bob McManaman from the Arizona Republic. The Christian McCaffrey thing has been an evolving, I should say, mystery. We're still not sure when he's going to be back or what's going on, but Jordan Mason has been a revelation. What has impressed Coach Gannon of the Cardinals the most about what Jordan Mason has done so far?
Yeah, well, him and a lot of guys I talk to, it's not only does he find a way to create seams, and look, I mean, blocking in the schemes of Shanahan are legendary, right? But when he finds his own seam, you can't bring this guy down easily. He's tough to tackle. Buda Baker was telling us yesterday, about all-pro safety. You can't just hope to tackle him. You've got to go low, wrap him up, get him around the legs, and don't let him go. And to Mason's credit, man, I've seen him pull away from so many would-be tacklers, and Cardinals are well aware of what he can do. And I will say mystery is a nice, kind word to describe CMC. I call it a bunch of other stuff myself. But, and not just because I drafted him number 1 in my fantasy league.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right.
that has nothing to do with it, of course.
Right.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, Bob. I know you wrote about the one way they can get the win.
Yeah.
How do you see this playing out this weekend? Though? Let's be honest. How do you see it playing out?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Niners have destroyed the Cardinals the last 4 times they've played them, and Jonathan Gannon's only been there once for 1 loss and here for 1 loss since he's been here, but I can see another loss getting hung around the Cardinals in this game. I think Arizona can keep it relatively competitive for a half, but then something will happen. It just seems to happen to this team, and it'll break down. And I've seen too many splash plays from the Niners over the years, all these years, even before Shanahan. They just seem to have a way. I mean, Cardinals did have the Niners number for a while there.
Yes.
But that's ancient history, man. That's hieroglyphics to me now,
Hey, Bob, Josh Rosen went in and beat the 49ers, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah.
Oh, God bless Josh. I think he's selling real estate or something. Too bad. Hell of a nice guy, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the Niners win, and probably by 10.
All right. Bob, we appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for your time. And it doesn't sound like you're expecting to enjoy the game, but we hope you do anyway.
Oh, I'm going to have a blast.
Good.
It'll be 95 and just like Phoenix, only cooler.
Yeah, right. And good luck with the Christian McCaffrey thing. I hope it works out for you and your fantasy team.
I'm going to drop him.
Yeah. Thanks, Bob. Yeah.
All right, Bob.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Bob McManaman. So that's interesting. It's not just Rod Brooks who says they're
the one guy that covers the team, columnist down there says we're not good. We're not good right now. Wow. All right.
We're going to turn our attention to the NBA when we come back because we had an NBA game today. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
We had NBA
Close
basketball
game
today.
Yeah.
And we have this interesting story about how the Warriors showed respect for LeBron. Are you buying it? Next, Sactown Sports.
At Fisher Investments, we may